All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Westelcom Teams Voice webinar. Today, we're going to discuss direct routing as a service and how and why we are integrating our native business voice solutions with this massive collaboration platform, also known as Teams. My name is Deirdre McNerland. I'm the Director of Marketing for Westelcom's family of companies. And today we have a very special guest from our team. Jill Van Heusen is the Director of Business Development and a Regional Channel Executive for the Westelcom family of companies. Jill is responsible for cultivation of new business from both existing and potential partners, all the way to end customers. Jill also helps in developing new product offerings and has been a key player in deploying Microsoft solutions. She also serves as the Information Security Officer, enhancing the corporate cybersecurity posture by implementing and managing a comprehensive cybersecurity program, ensuring various regulatory compliance. Jill's career spans over 30 years in executive information technology roles in government, finance, and media. As usual, I'm going to quickly go over just a few marketing housekeeping items before Jill gets into the agenda. So the first thing I want to kind of mention is our weekly partner dose. This is an email blast that goes out every Thursday. If you're not on the list, feel free to reach out or send me a message with your email and I'll add you to our partner dose. Today, which I'll be sending out after the webinar, we're going to be releasing the Microsoft Sales Kit. So we have a Teams sales kit that our partners can use and customers can use it. Basically, it's just a kit/guide that will help you sell and implement Teams for your organization. We'll also be sending out the Other Great Xerox Invention, which is a short blog written by one of our West Coast regional channel executives, Keaton. He has his own blog and he releases new stories every single week. So look for that later today. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you have any news or a story or anything you want to share with us, please email me and let me know. I'd love to feature you in our upcoming partner blasts. And then lastly, our collateral can be found on westelcom.com, our website. If you go to Partner Solutions and then Channel Solutions and scroll down to the bottom, you can find the marketing collateral, infographics, and all the technical downloads. And I will hand it over to Jill to go into the agenda.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for which is going to be our last webinar in the spring. We'll start up again in the fall, so I'm so glad to see we have a great audience here for our last webinar. This webinar, we're going to kind of cover Metaswitch and Westelcom's relationship with Metaswitch, as well as give an overview of our infrastructure, both our voice deployments, our national infrastructure that we're creating, as well as our relationship with Microsoft and some of the products and services that we're able to provide through that, as well as diving into direct routing and Teams and how that really is one of the latest and greatest UC platforms out there. So to get started, Metaswitch, just so everyone is clear, Metaswitch was actually purchased by Microsoft in 2020. Metaswitch has always really been recognized as the leader in the development of an ultra high performance cloud native communication software in a platform, and it has been an award-winning solution for many years. And right now they have over 750 fixed, mobile, converged service providers worldwide. And of that 750, Westelcom is one of them. And Westelcom has been a Metaswitch shop, as we like to refer to ourselves, for almost a decade. You'll see on a few slides further, we do have redundant Metaswitches in our environment, and we have been providing hosted solutions through the Metaswitch product for almost 10 years. At the bottom of the slide here, just a couple of facts and figures that not only partners but customers can be using as they're out talking with folks. Presently, Westelcom is powering 84,000 simultaneous calls at a time. We do have over, thanks, Dee. We do have over 500,000 subscriber lines, 250K subscriber gateways out there, 250K access devices, and we are supporting 1.3 million busy hour call attempts. That means that at one time, that's the amount of calls that have been coming through our Metaswitch infrastructure. And I got that information from our engineering team. Thank you so much for that, getting some facts and figures of what Westelcom is doing on a daily basis and has been doing, and as a phone provider. Basically, the reason why we're starting to work with Microsoft Teams is because, as I said earlier, Metaswitch has been purchased by Microsoft. Microsoft was obviously thinking ahead, knowing that it was going to need to provide some sort of phone service inside of Teams eventually. And we all want to believe that COVID probably moved this up a little bit on their deployment and their development schedule. And since Westelcom is already a Metaswitch customer, we were actually kind of top of the pack when it came to being able to integrate into our infrastructure already direct routing as a service and add it to our portfolio of solutions. What we have done is we have session border controllers, and we have updated them to the perimeter. And what that does is that basically gives us SIP trunking directly into the Teams environment in the Azure cloud with Microsoft. And again, that allows our customers to leverage our calling plans and leverage our connectivity to the PSTN so that folks can make public facing calls right from the Teams environment. And basically, again, like we talk about all the time, Teams has been going through a large development and deployment and is really making headway when it comes to Zoom and some of the other things that were being used in hot and heavy, especially in the beginning of COVID. But basically, we're now here looking at the Teams environment because of our existing relationship with Microsoft also. And we're able now to provide calling services, features, calling plans, and basically another UC platform for us. This screen here, some of you might have seen it. It is in our corporate overview. Sorry for the duplicate there to some of my partners that are out there. But I like to put this up there because what it does is it basically shows you our environment that we have, and it backs up our claim of redundancy. You can see here we're ringed out to the PSTN by both of our redundant Metaswitch switches. You can see we have one in our Watertown data center and one in our Plattsburgh data center. And that behind those are the UC servers, again, redundant for the TO product. And then you'll see the session border controllers. Those are the border controllers that have been upgraded so that we can provide that direct connectivity out to the Teams environment in the Azure cloud. We also do what we say in the sense of we are a Juniper shop. We're a Juniper shop and our infrastructure is built upon Juniper. We use our own SD-WAN product here to ensure that not only do we stay top of mind as far as, do developments with Juniper and things like that, but it also is best to use what you sell. And that's what we try to basically ingrained with our partners also. So you can see as you're moving right across here, we have, of course, our core routers, the things that take us out to the internet. At the very top, we're showing our two newest data centers, which are out in Dallas, Texas, and Seattle, Washington. And over on the left is basically it shows you different types of office environments that we are able to provide, basically either a UC solution or a phone solution to it. And again, we're adding Teams on top of that, on top of our TOUC solution and the native Meta solution. And again, for those of you that are not familiar, Westelcom is definitely stepping into the national market, and we are building our national infrastructure. You can see here, again, we have, diverse switching with an MPLS core network. We have connectivity out to the PSTN. We have all sorts of agreements with wholesale and NNIs with other providers. I haven't talked too much about this yet, but it is on this slide. Time to mention this. We do also have direct connectivity to the clouds as well as other content providers and things like that through now 3 internet exchanges that we are in. We're in an internet exchange in Seattle, which is servicing our customers over on the West Coast. And then we've always been in the Quebec and the New York data center, the New York Internet Exchange, and where we are definitely one hop to the Microsoft cloud. So again, it's just natural progression for us to be moving to the direct routing with Teams. Here again, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that, especially when we're talking to partners here, your success is our success. So we are also backed by a network intelligence system where we are monitoring constantly, not only our internet backbone and our infrastructure, of course, of which we need to always be up and running for all of the mission critical facilities and things that are on it. We're also looking at customers' WANs and our network QoS, different threats and traffic loads. So these are all the things that we're always monitoring in the background, and we're able to give heads up to clients when they might be getting a DDoS attack. That's when we're reaching out to the partner. They'll be reaching out to the customer on that behalf. We have some traffic engineering things we're always looking at. The Westelcom with the green on here, that's actually our traffic map that's constantly monitored. As we see any kind of black on that, we know we're not good to go. Chances are we already know that you're having an issue before you do. That's where our customer portal in our mission critical app comes in. You're able to place tickets through that. We're able to send out notifications through that. And really, I think from both a partner and a customer perspective, that is really your best friend when it comes to Westelcom. It's easy for ticket management, network stats. As a partner, you see all of your customers in one place, their incidences, their tickets. You can track everything right there, right on your desktop and or your mobile. And it's just really a great tool. Now I want to talk a little bit about our relationship with Microsoft and circle back a little bit about Teams. Basically, Teams is able to tote now 145 million daily users a day. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of people. And they are also saying that they're getting about 200 million people that participate in Teams meetings a day. That's a lot of people. Those are people that, again, don't necessarily have the Teams app yet, but are being exposed to it. And I think for all of us, as we're exposed more to the Teams app, you see the benefits of it. And I think that it's going to become a very well-used UC tool. Right now, the latest stat is about 2.5 million that are either doing direct routing through a carrier like ourselves or through a Microsoft calling plan. So basically, that's a lot of people there too. So when it comes to Microsoft, we kind of like Westelcom to kind of be your first thought. We are a cloud service provider. As I said, we do have, when you're on our network, connectivity directly to the clouds, secure and redundant. We offer all sorts of services from the full office suites. We can do installation and lift and shift. We also have partners that will do lift and shift with us. We are also able to turn up instances for you in the Azure cloud. Should it be for a DR situation? Should it be for just storage period? All sorts of things. Anything that you want to use Azure for, we can also assist with that. And then Teams. Again, Teams is really taking over and is going to be one of the premier UC suites out there. And what is Teams? I'm sure most everyone on this call does understand what Teams is, but basically it is intelligent collaborative communications. If you don't use Teams, I recommend you get a hold of me. We can get set you up with a trial, hopefully move your place to it. I personally love it. From the messaging and the chat feature, you know, it offers a unified presence. I can see at any one time any of my teammates. Where are they? Are they in a meeting? Are they in a call? It's just it's a one-stop snapshot of that. You can do federated chat. You can have all of your contacts in there. And they do also, and this is for some folks that might work internationally, they do offer inline translation now, meaning if you're talking to someone, I know we deal with another company out of Finland, you know, if Maddie had to, you know, his command of the English language was like ours of Finnish, then we would probably be using that. And of course, you can have cloud-based meetings with anyone. Like I had said, you know, there's users out there, the 145 million, but those other 60 million that make up the 200, they are just using the app and they're being sent an invitation. So again, you can have up to 250 people in a meeting, okay? That's in a meeting where everyone needs to be able to quote unquote present, speak, unmute themselves, show their video, that sort of thing. But you can have 20,000 people in like a webinar or somewhere where it's just going to be like a lecture type thing. So, you know, that basically gives you the ability to host meetings across organizations. And I myself, I'm on a couple of other committees, a couple for broadband and a few other things, and they've set up teams and they've set up channels. And so I see all of this in one portal. It's just so convenient for me to have my teams up, and I can already look at my broadband committee notes too, because I don't have to go to another portal. So there's just so many things that we can do with it. And I think that until you get in and you start using it and really see what it can be for yourselves, I think that people sometimes aren't really understanding everything that Teams can do. And this really wasn't set up as a webinar to talk about Teams and its capabilities. We really wanted to talk more about the direct routing. But just thought that I would bring that up a little bit about what Teams can do. And, you know, again, they have a lobby just like you do in Zoom. So you can basically have people wait in the lobby to make sure that you're allowing in the people that you want in. And again, there's always dial-in fallback support. That is a separate license called audio conferencing. So if you have some questions about that, again, feel free to reach out to me and I can definitely point you in the right direction of what flavor basically of Microsoft or Microsoft Teams would be best for your organization. So back to, you know, Westelcom's direct routing as a service. Basically what this does is it allows you to bring the telephone service that you already have with Westelcom. And if you don't have it with Westelcom, we'll be more than happy to provide it for you, and use your existing calling plan that you already have with us to Teams, which means that you can use the Teams app on your desktop or on your cell phone, and you can call out to anyone in the world with, well, excuse me, if you have an international plan, but you can call to anyone that not just in your organization. You get a nice dial pad up. Everyone's very familiar with this sort of GUI interface, and it's seamless integration through Westelcom, through the direct routing, because we are a Metaswitch shop, and now Metaswitch is actually a Microsoft company. So you can just kind of see how we're all basically on one platform now. In Teams direct routing, there's some benefits in that. Basically, there's going to be the ability to consolidate your management of your phone lines with provisioning, reporting, diagnostics, in the sense that if you are presently a Metaswitch customer with us, then you're familiar with the COM portal. You're familiar with, how the different things you can do with your line, your different setup. That stays the same. You really don't have to change any of that, as we're the ones on the other side of the Metaswitch that is providing that direct routing to the Microsoft Teams in the Azure environment. And you can connect your workforce and empower your team to collaborate and work smarter together. And I know that from the folks that are on this call from the Westelcom team, I think that it has just been a godsend for us to have Teams and be able to collaborate, to chat, to do a quick call, video or non. It's all right there at your fingertips. You're not going up, picking up another phone. You're not going into another app. And basically, Westelcom's direct routing as a service will also improve your call quality, because we'll be the one that will be doing the quality of service, very similar to what we do now with quality of service in the voice services that we provide. And again, you'll be using your existing infrastructure that you already have in place with us. And then you can take advantage of all of the additional features in Teams while still having all those same calling features that you've had with us. And basically, we are, in this essence, as far as direct routing, we are going to be providing calling plans very similar to what Microsoft does, and we will be competitive in that. Again, because we've been with Metaswitch for a decade. Again, we are a phone company. That is really where our roots started. So, once a phone company, always a phone company. We're going to be able to do this and do this well and be highly competitive with some calling packages. And some of the other benefits is that, we can do both domestic and international calling packages. They do have those out in the Microsoft plans. I do believe that we will be much more competitive on that. And again, when you're working with our direct routing, you have our 24/7 365 carrier network monitoring and support behind you again. It's not that wait on hold for Microsoft, how come I can't make a phone call today? And again, we pride ourselves on enterprise grade security and compliance, seamless provisioning and onboarding for Teams. We're here at any time to talk to you about what is best, not only Teams, but maybe it's time to move to Office 365 as a whole, make yourself more competitive, productive, efficient, and collaborative. And again, we will try to provide unparalleled voice quality and a voice experience that you are definitely hopefully very happy with. And when we talk about integrating with existing PBX solutions, that's exactly what we can do. Again, as a carrier, we can be providing SIP trunks or whatever other connectivity you need to get out to the PSTN. Speak with us. We have many different solutions we can do, and we can speak with and basically interface with many different existing PBX solutions that are still out there. And again, we'll be using our state-of-the-art, our carrier network that we've built and we maintain. And another thing that's very interesting here with us is that, especially if you already are a Meta customer with us, you're going to get to keep your own numbers. You're not going to have to go out to Microsoft and request numbers. You're not going to have to go out and do any porting of any numbers. You're going to just keep basically your numbers that you have. It's just going to be a different way for you to call. You can call out of Teams, but that's kind of what the last bullet is, mix it up. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing either when you're working with Westelcom and their direct routing as a service. Say you want to try it and you just want to try a couple of folks in your organization. We'd be more than happy to set up that with you and see how it works for you. You know, you might get some people that really love it and then they want to, you know, oh my God, this is the best thing. And we start to move it up and around your whole corporation. Again, for us, that's fine. You know, you want to do one, you want to do two, you want to do all 150 people, but we can mix it up and you can have some folks that have endpoints still on their desk. There might be some folks like myself. I am strictly either on my PC or on my cell phone, but you know, it's everyone's, whatever anyone else prefers, but we'll be there to help you in whatever way you need. Again, what we were talking about before, you can have one phone number across all team-enabled devices. I'm kind of actually glad my phone didn't ring today because someone like myself, you know, I want to make sure that I use all the products that I do discuss with customers and partners. So I when my phone rings now, my desk phone's ringing, my cell phone's ringing, my team is ringing, you know, and then when I don't answer it, it goes to my Macs. And then and from there, it goes to my regular cell phone. So, you know, it's that mobility with it, you know, if you're not right there next to your phone. And then the best thing is we're still backed by the Meta. You're going to get a voicemail in your email, which again is, I think, one of the most convenient things there is. And again, no need for multiple phone numbers or juggling calls. It's all going to be there. Everything shows up on your desk phone, on your computer, on your mobile device, same call log, you know, same contacts. It's just seamless integration. Like I said, and you have the ability to call anyone. It doesn't have to be just employees, just folks in your organization. You can be calling anyone and you can bring in all your contacts also into your team's environment. And so that you can basically use it as a full-blown phone system. But like I said earlier, not everyone is like me. Some folks still want a desk phone. And so, excuse me, they're optional, but they're still there. And again, since our calling plans are really backed by the Metaswitch, all of the phones that are out there will still work. Even if you decide to move to the Teams Voice, they'll still work just like they do today. And we also have some newer models of our TO phones that will be working with the Teams environment also. This is our two newest models that we have out. The Fur Essential is basically that middle of the line phone. Most everyone in your organization would get that. That's for, you know, the typical person who sits at the desk. You know, you can have 30 desk keys. It's, you know, high grade audio. It's PoE and gig, and it's got built-in Bluetooth for use with headsets. The Cedar Plus on the side, that's for someone who's more in a, not necessarily a call center environment, but needs to see a lot of calls, needs to know there's a lot of people on the phone at one time. It's kind of what that sidecar is. In the old days, they used to call this kind of a sidecar there, if you notice that. And that's what that's for. That's for some of the people that do some heavy desk time and some heavy call handling. And our other endpoint, some of you might be familiar with, the 9102, that's our break room phone. Yeah, we have it installed in quite a few factories where people just kind of need to just kind of pick it up and make a call. The 9104 has actually been replaced with our For Essential. This was actually our first revision of phones, and then we do still have the 9160 in the mix. That is used primarily with our TO platform, and for folks that have opted to have the video capability, it has the larger screen. So there is built-in video capability that you can have with the TO UC product. So that's where that phone comes in. Again, I wanted to make sure that we talked a little bit about the Mission Critical app and the Mission Critical support. I think this is very important when you're starting to talk either in your own environment and thinking about moving to Teams, and the interfaces you can have with the calling plans you can have, what basically the breadth of what you can do with Teams. It's very important to think about where are you going to get your support. And again, if you've been around the block a few times and you've dealt with Microsoft, they're the big boy in the room. So, their support is basically what it is. I don't see it getting much better. Place the call, wait for it, that sort of thing. But again, with Westelcom, we pride ourselves in being mission critical, and the Mission Critical app is basically available on an Android. It's on the Apple environment. You can have it on your computer. You can get all sorts of push notifications, create the support request, monitor your tickets. And again, from a partner point of view, you can be monitoring your customers inside the Mission Critical app, knowing if they placed a call without calling you, you'll still know, because that'll show up in your Mission Critical app. You can receive all sorts of notifications. They can come via text, they can come via email. You can monitor network status, review our maintenance and updates that we have. We do like any other carrier grade solution that we have. Our infrastructure needs to have maintenance done. So we push that out through the Mission Critical app so that you're able to know, most times a week or two in advance, there's going to be maintenance. It's normally done overnight, of course, but at least you have that, and you can plan for the next day, plan for talking with your customers about that, things like that. You can also do service requests through this. And we're always looking to update this and give new capabilities. So again, we're always looking to our customers and our partners to tell us the good, the bad, and the ugly about this. What do you like? What do you use? What are we still missing in this? Because that's something that Westelcom prides themselves on, is being a total solution provider and providing the solutions that not only our customers, but what our partners need to provide to their customers. So basically, in summary, I just kind of want to say one more time, Westelcom has been with Metaswitch for almost a decade, and that is where our high quality voice services started and are still continuing today. So there's a wide variety of features that come with Metaswitch when it comes to call handling and things like that. It really is the Cadillac. And basically, we're back here driving that and driving good quality phone service to our customers and our partners. We have been a Microsoft cloud service provider for about 5 years. Basically, when I started with Westelcom, I kind of kicked the whole Microsoft tire and kicked it up. We have like 500 customers now, which I think is really great. And I'm looking to continue to build that portfolio. And this direct routing as a service to the Teams platform is really just another UC solution that I think is going to be more and more of a go-to as it continues to mature, and basically as people continue to use it. Because I think, like I said earlier with COVID, there was that Zoom go-to. But now that people are kind of, quote unquote, getting back to a bit of a normal, they'll start looking at other solutions. And Microsoft has done a very good job of updating Teams and making it a much more mature product that I think, again, that's going to be open up some avenues for us as direct router, and then also to our partners and customers for a great UC solution. Again, what makes Westelcom unique is our internet exchanges, the 3 that we are in. What that does is again, it gives us direct connectivity to the clouds, allows us to peer with everyone. We're peering with Google, we're peering with Netflix, we're peering with Microsoft. So, when you're peering, that is where you're getting your best service because we have, quote unquote, that direct pipe there. And again, mission critical, we have a ton of hospitals, businesses, financial institutions that really can't go down. So when you're looking for mission critical service, Westelcom is the one to look at. And we have some great experience with designing, delivery, and supporting complex solutions. Again, nothing is out of the box. We pride ourselves in working with our customers, working with our partners, in providing that complex solution that we need. And again, I think I've said it before, and I'll say it again, we view our partners and our customers as part of our company. And I pride myself on, your success is our success. So I look forward to working with everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Jill. So we're going to go into the Q&A portion of our webinar. If you look at your screen, you'll see a little slide or a little place where you can ask questions. Feel free to start hammering away. We have Eric Svensson, who is our VP of Carrier Engineering, on the webinar as well, who can answer questions. Jill is here to answer questions as well. So fire away. Okay, it looks like our first question, what are the minimum licensing requirements to get started with Teams? It's a good question.
I'll take that. Basically, Teams is coming native now with the quote unquote, what we like to call the lowest package of M365, which is the basic package, which gives you Teams and it gives you all of the online apps. There's nothing to download to your desktop, but it is definitely all of the online solution.
Perfect.
And this is Eric, just to add to that, in terms of, the number of users that you want to enable Teams calling, you can do one, you can do as many as you want. There's no quantities there. So if you had someone that wanted to add their phone number to Teams, we can enable that.
Great. All right, looks like we have another question that just came in. How would our E911 services be affected should we move from our on-premise PBX to a Teams solution? That's a really good question.
Do you want to take that, Eric? You want me to?
Sure, I can. Yeah, so just like any number that we would port to our switch and manage, we do have the opportunity to update the E911 information. We just ask that that's, something you share with us. And again, if you're using something mobile versus a desk phone, you have to understand that, 911 is where we put it, not where you are. So it's just something to caution. Typically, we tell people that when they're doing mobile, but we can support that absolutely.
Great. All right, next question. How does pricing vary between Teams using Microsoft Business Voice and their own routing versus Teams using direct routing through Westelcom?
If you're already on a calling plan with Westelcom, that's where we need to talk about that, because with Microsoft, you would go out and you would buy the Microsoft license and then a phone system license, audio conferencing, and then also a calling plan. So here with us, if you already have a calling plan with us, then again, like we had said, we can add this on to that, to what you already have with us. And it would just be basically another way for you to make and receive calls.
Yeah, I'd also like to say that, there's enhanced opportunities by leveraging this UC services that you have through Westelcom today. We're able to bridge that together with Office 365 and with Teams. So, if you've already got an auto attendant or some features and capabilities with the UC platform you're using with us, you can have some people that are receiving, phone calls to their desk. You can have other people that are receiving phone calls to Teams, or it could be a mix and match. I have it set up where it'll ring to my cell phone with my Teams app, or it'll ring my desk if that's logged in, as well as my desk phone. So it's an enhancement on what we offer today. And I'd like to point out, additionally, specifically with our UC platform, as we go to further develop that, we have this relationship with Microsoft, which Jill mentioned. We're going to be able to customize and build further enhancements that we'll share in further roadmap reviews. But I'm excited to see what happens and what's to come down the road. But for us, as Jill mentioned, we use Teams all the time. We're a phone company, so the ability to have my same number and use that through Teams as well has been amazing.
And to jump on what Eric was saying there, there's a lot of things coming with the Metaswitch Microsoft relationship, basically, now that they are a Microsoft company. And again, since we're already a Metaswitch shop, there's going to be things coming through that relationship that will benefit us, that we can in turn bring out to our customers and our our partners, because that's that unique relationship that we already have, being a Metaswitch shop.
Perfect. Okay, we have we've got some great questions, actually. The next question, are there any resources available to dive deeper into specifics of Teams as telephony, features, use case, demos, specifically centering around the real-world application of replacing a physical phone system with it?
Yeah, so that is a good question. So you can think, we've traditionally offered apps with our calling plans, whether it's with our UC product or cloud services. You can think of Teams as kind of another way to leverage, a phone app or on your computer, where you're not, you don't have a handset in front of you. There's probably cases where there's advantages to using a handset. I think logging into a queue, something related to that. But what I would say is that, if you can reach out to our support team, or Deirdre will probably take your info down, and we can reach out, and, if we could talk about a use case that you might have, we can go into that. But I think there's a good mix and match of, using desk phones versus using handsets. Sometimes it's a preference, sometimes it's a corporate initiative. But, you can use Teams as, an endpoint. It's basically an endpoint, so you can make and receive calls. You can leverage all the features that you have with your phone system today.
And anyone that would like to reach out to me specifically, or through Deirdre, it doesn't really matter. I'd be more than happy to do a one-on-one and demo our solution and show what direct routing, what it looks like, how it interfaces with our existing clients, be it the Max client, and how it just really functions in a real world environment. I'd be more than happy to do a one-on-one with anyone. And also, if we need to take that on the road, we can take that on the road, and We can do a webinar and or an in-person with a client or a customer or a partner, whatever we need. We'll be able to show that in real work.
Great. Next question. How does an on-premise Westelcom customer migrate to Teams with direct routing?
Yeah, so any if you have a question about how to make it happen, as long as, well, I guess the real answer is it's a number that we have to have on our switch. So if you're using Westelcom as the carrier with your on-premise system, that makes things a little bit easier, but we can get into a discussion, how to make the switch if you're interested in that. But typically, Westelcom switches will receive the call coming in, and if we have a SIP trunk to your UC system, if it's something that's on premise, we can just get a better understanding how you want the calls to ring in, whether you want them to ring. It could be that they're going through an auto attendant. It could be that it's going, if it's a direct dial, you can send it directly to Teams. But we can talk through more of that, but we would have to be the SIP provider for that.
Okay. Next question. Presently, our company is part of Microsoft MPN network. You said Westelcom is a CSP. What's the difference, and what benefits do we get from working with you?
As a CSP, we are availed basically a price list. So depending on the quantity, we're able to basically provide better pricing at times, well, most times, than when you go to Microsoft Direct. Now, as an MPN partner, and in folks that are in that, they know that normally everything with Microsoft is pay to play, but you get your internal use licenses and things like that. So we go one step further with the cloud service provider because we're able to bill. We can bill from Microsoft will bill us. We will bill the customer. It's, again, one bill, one throat to choke. You don't have to deal with Microsoft. You deal with Westelcom, and then we will deal with Microsoft on your behalf if needed. It opens up a breadth of opportunities because we're also able to provide licensing through volume licensing. We do work with nonprofits. We also interface with the charity program and kind of take that headache out of, I find a lot of nonprofits, they don't really have the staff to be dealing with tech soup and all of that, so that can come through us. And again, it all has to do with our presence in the internet exchanges, in the direct connectivity out to the clouds with our network infrastructure.
Great. Good explanation, Jill. Looks like there's no other questions. Give it a second, I guess. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you so much, Jill, for hopping on and going through that. Eric Svensson, thank you so much as well. And again, if you have any questions or you want to learn more about this, please reach out to us. We are sales@westelcom.com. And, if you want to quote or you want to kind of talk through potential scenarios, we are here to help you. And again, thank you all for being here and have a good rest of your day.